Building wealth and protecting wealth are two different skills. For most of your working life, the goal is straightforward. Save more, invest consistently, and let time do the work. But as retirement gets closer, the strategy that got you here starts to matter less than the decisions you make now. And that's exactly where a lot of people get caught off guard, because the biggest retirement mistakes are rarely dramatic. They don't always look like a huge market crash or one catastrophic investment decision. A lot of the time, they look like small choices that felt completely reasonable in the moment. Waiting too long to make a plan, assuming the market will cooperate, taking too much risk too close to retirement, or trusting that the same strategy that helped you build your money will automatically help you protect it. In some cases, these decisions can be difficult to reverse once made. So, in this video, I want to walk through common retirement traps I see people fall into, especially people in their late 50s, 60s, and early 70s who are trying to figure out where to place their money, how to create income, and how to protect what they've worked so hard to build. And as we go through this, I want you to think about your own retirement picture, not from a place of fear, but from a practical one, because the goal isn't to avoid every possible risk. The goal is to understand which risks can negatively impact your retirement and then build a plan designed to help give you more confidence, more clarity, and more control. If at any point during this video you want help looking at your own situation, there's a link in the description to schedule a call with me directly. We can walk through where you are and what options might make sense for you. So let's begin with trap number 1. Assuming growth still matters more than protection. When you're younger, growth is generally the main focus, and for good reason. You have time, you have income coming in. If the market drops, you can often wait it out. But retirement changes the equation. Once you're close to retirement, or already there, you may not have the same runway to recover from a major loss. And if you're taking withdrawals while your account is down, that's where things can get serious. This is why the question most people are asking shifts as they approach retirement. It's no longer just, how much can I make? It becomes, how do I grow my money without putting my entire retirement at risk? That's a much better question, because in retirement, the timing of losses matters as much as the losses themselves. A significant drop early in retirement, while you're pulling income at the same time, can be far more damaging than the same drop happening later. The trap is believing you can use the same aggressive approach indefinitely. So you need to ask yourself, how much of my money should still be positioned for growth, and how much should be protected from major losses? That answer looks different for everyone, depending on income needs, savings, Social Security, health, and how much risk you can realistically handle, both financially and emotionally. Trap number 2, not having a clear income plan. A lot of people have accounts, a 401k, an IRA, some savings, some investments. But when you ask, how much dependable income will this actually produce every month in retirement? That's where things tend to get cloudy. Retirement isn't just about having a pile of money. It's about turning that money into income you can actually live on, because your bills don't care what the market is doing. Property taxes don't pause because the S&P had a rough year. Groceries don't wait for your portfolio to potentially recover. So one of the most common traps is reaching retirement with assets, but no real income strategy. People say, I'll just withdraw what I need. And sometimes that works fine. But over time, it can quietly create unneeded stress. Am I taking too much? Will this last? What happens if the market drops right after I retire? What happens if I live longer than expected? This is where guaranteed income strategies can play a meaningful role. However, it's not for everyone, not with every dollar, and not without fully understanding what you're buying. But for the right person, certain products may help create a stream of income that can last for life. The key isn't to buy something because it sounds safe. It's to understand how it actually works, what the benefits are, what the limitations are, and whether it genuinely fits your goals. Before we continue, if you're finding this useful, take a second to like the video. It helps the channel grow and allows me to keep making content like this. Okay, on to trap number 3, chasing returns without understanding the downside. It's easy to get excited about what an investment might do, but it's more difficult and more important to spend equal time asking what it could cost you if things go wrong. When you are working, you may be able to make up losses with more income, more contributions, and more time. In retirement, your money has a different job. It has to last. It has to produce income. It has to support your lifestyle. And for most people, it also has to provide some degree of peace of mind. That doesn't mean avoiding growth. Growth is still important, but growth without any risk management can become a trap, which is one reason some retirees look at strategies that offer market-linked growth potential along with some level of downside protection. The details still matter enormously here. Some products offer full principal protection from market losses. Some offer buffer protection. Some have caps, participation rates, fees, or surrender charges that affect the overall picture. Comparing options carefully, rather than assuming all products in a category are the same, is what can separate a good decision from a regrettable one. Trap number 4. Assuming a big name means personalized guidance. So there's nothing inherently wrong with large financial companies. They can offer low-cost options and broad access to investments, and for some people, that's genuinely enough. But low cost doesn't automatically mean high guidance. And access to investments isn't the same thing as a personalized retirement strategy. The real question isn't just, where can I open an account? It's, who is helping me think through income, risk, protection, taxes, market volatility, beneficiary planning, and the emotional side of retirement decisions? Because when markets are up, everything can feel manageable. But when the market drops, or when you're facing a major income decision and you're not sure whether to stay invested, move money, or protect a portion of it, that's when communication matters. That's when trust matters. That's when having someone who can explain your options in plain English can make a real difference. If you'd like the kind of conversation about your own retirement, the link to schedule a free call is in the description. This call is no pressure, simply a straightforward look at where you are and what options might make sense. Okay, let's keep going with trap number 5. Waiting until retirement to start planning for retirement. This one is very common. Someone says, I'll figure it out when I get there. But by then, some decisions become harder to make, and some opportunities close altogether. The window of about 5 or 6 years before retirement is genuinely valuable. It's when you have enough time to look at your current strategy thoughtfully, ask better questions, and make adjustments before your income picture may be fully locked in. Do I have enough protection? Do I have enough growth potential? Do I have a clear income plan? Do I understand what happens if the market drops right before or after I retire? If you're in that window right now, this may be a good time to get clarity. Not panic, not rush, just a clear-eyed look at where you stand. Trap number 6. Treating annuities as either all good or all bad. Some people hear the word annuity and immediately think safety. Others immediately think, I've heard bad things. Both reactions tend to be too broad. Annuities are just tools. Some are designed for income, some for protection, some for growth potential. Some are straightforward, some are complex. Some may fit your situation well, and some may not fit at all. The real question has never been, are annuities good or bad? It's, does this specific product address a specific need or goal in my retirement plan? If your biggest concern is guaranteed lifetime income, one type may be worth reviewing. If it's protecting principal while maintaining some growth potential, another type may be more appropriate. But the worst way to make that call is based on a headline, a rumor, or a one-size-fits-all opinion from someone who doesn't know your numbers. You need to review the actual contract, understand what is and isn't guaranteed, know the limitations, and see how it fits with the rest of your plan. Trap number 7, working with someone you don't fully trust. This may be the most important one on the list. Retirement is personal. This isn't just about money on a spreadsheet. It's your future, your spouse, your home, your ability to travel, help family, and sleep at night knowing there's a plan in place. So, if you're working with someone who makes you feel rushed, confused, or pressured, pay attention to that. The right advisor should slow things down. They should explain your options clearly, answer questions honestly, and be willing to walk through both of the pros and cons without steering you towards a predetermined answer. Here's a simple thing worth looking for. Find an advisor who specializes in working with people near retirement. When decisions are this important, you want someone who understands the numbers and understands people. Trap number 8. Thinking peace of mind means giving up growth. A lot of people assume it's a binary choice. Take risks to grow or give up growth to stay safe. But that's not always the full picture. There may be strategies that allow you to pursue growth potential while also protecting some or all of your principal from market losses, depending on the product and its terms. Of course, there are always trade-offs: caps on the upside, surrender periods, potential fees. But the broader point is that retirement planning isn't about choosing between fear and risk. It's about giving every dollar a clear job. Some dollars for liquidity, some for income, some for growth, some for protection, some for legacy. When your money has clear roles, the whole plan becomes easier to understand. And a plan that's easier to understand is one you're far more likely to stick with when the market gets uncomfortable. That discipline, more than almost anything else, is what can help protect a retirement. Trap number 9, not reviewing your plan when life changes. Retirement is a series of decisions. Your health changes, your income needs change, interest rates, market conditions, tax laws, and family situations all change over time. A decision that made sense 5 years ago may need to be revisited today. But that doesn't mean constantly tinkering with your plan. It just means reviewing it consistently enough to confirm it still fits your actual life, not the life you had when you first built it. And finally, trap number 10, trying to figure everything out alone. This last one is understandable. People don't want to be sold. They don't want to feel pressured. They've heard enough stories about someone being pushed into a product that wasn't right for them. But trying to navigate retirement planning entirely alone can create its own set of problems. Missed opportunities, misunderstood risks, decisions made on incomplete information, or simply delay because the choices feel overwhelming. And delay itself can quietly become a retirement problem. The practical next step isn't committing to anything, it's getting a second opinion, a clear review of where you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and what options may be available to you. Because retirement is too important to leave to guesswork. A good retirement plan should be able to answer 3 questions clearly. How will I grow my money? How will I protect it? And how will I create income that supports the life I actually want? If you can answer all 3 with confidence, you're ahead of most people. But if you can't answer them yet, that's exactly where the planning starts. Click the link in the description to schedule a free call. We'll walk through your situation, look at your options, and figure out whether an annuity or another retirement income strategy makes sense for where you are. And if this video was helpful, please like it, subscribe, and share it with someone you know who's approaching retirement and working through these same questions. It genuinely helps get this information to people who need it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.